Hello everyone, another day has passed and I'm doing my video, but I think in honor of the storms today, renaming this one Hail of the Day might be a little bit more appropriate. Large hail with several pretty big thunderstorms across the Ozarks. Let's go right to the radar and we'll take a look at this. Now, I've started this loop a little early. This is right around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and what was happening is some of these storms were already beginning to be pretty intense, and they were indicating the possibility of at least 1 or 2 inch hail on some of these storms. But then look at this storm down here in Oklahoma. This is just, that's just to the east of Big Cabin, if you know, of course, your exits on I-44. But as this storm continued to develop, here's Xena and Grove, Oklahoma, two areas you might have heard of as well. They had some pretty big hail reports. In fact, these little boxes right here, these orange boxes with the numbers in them, that indicates hail size. So we had a 3-inch report right here, an inch and or 2.5 inches around Xena, Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the storms continue to rock and roll around Springfield, hail, and a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. This was about 4:15 or so is where this radar loop stopped, and you can see the radar's trying to indicate 1-inch hail. Numerous reports around the Monette area of 1.75 hail. And then if I let the loop go a little bit more here and just kind of advance it, I'm really looking for the Hartville area here. Let's zoom into that. And they had pretty big hail as well. Let's forward this a little bit, and you'll see there's the storm that produced the hail. Of course, the severe thunderstorm warning by the great folks at the National Weather Service. This was indicating 2-inch hail, and it didn't disappoint because after the fact they had 2.5, 2 3/4 inch hail right around the Hartville area. And then finally, another large hail report that I'm aware of from the same storm, actually, as it moved toward the Houston area. It produced large hail as well, and here it is moving through that area, and it produced at least 2-inch hail. In fact, there was a 2.75 or a 2 3/4 inch hail report from Houston, Missouri.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh!
A very powerful storm in the upper atmosphere is in the western part of the U.S., and usually with any amount of instability, or in other words humidity in the atmosphere out ahead of that, which is usually the case anywhere between March and basically summer, you're likely going to get some severe weather in some shape or form. I'm going to switch over to the model data here and show you the powerful storm that we're talking about. And this is about midway up in the atmosphere, and what you're looking at here are just winds coming around the base of this right here. These are very powerful winds, 100 plus winds here blowing across parts of New Mexico and Texas that are moving up into southwest Missouri and Kansas and Oklahoma even as I speak. This is supposed to be valid about an hour ago according to this model, and if we advance that overnight, you can kind of see what happens to that storm. It really starts to intensify. Those upper level winds are incredible. And this is supposed to be valid tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is in part why they're worried about severe weather in northern Illinois tomorrow, and maybe some long-tracked large tornadoes in that area too. The shear, or the change in wind from the surface to this level and even higher, is pretty good. So that's the cause for concern. For us tonight, I think that some of these thunderstorms will develop later on, overnight hours in Kansas, and while most of them will probably drift up into west central Missouri, a couple of them could kind of brush into the Ozarks later on tonight as well. The slight risk for severe weather, as I'm showing you here as the final graphic, is in effect basically from Springfield on north for tonight.